Hey everyone, welcome to Brick Vault. Today is really fun because I get to show you an epic Star Wars ship and from an area of the Rebel Alliance that rarely gets tackled by LEGO designers. From the builder Commander Keller, this is the custom MC-75 Confidence. This Mon Calamari starcruiser is one of the largest vessels that ever served in the Rebel fleet, and the MC-75 is also referred to as the modified starcruiser because this was in fact a city ship outfitted by Rebel to become combat effective. Aside from many internal modifications, the thicker, darker armor in the midsection, along with the ventral fin/command pod and dorsal communications mast, were all built into the starcruiser to make it better equipped for fighting the Empire. I love being able to see a Mon Calamari ship getting such a good treatment in LEGO bricks. But first, before I jump into the features of this model, if you think you might want to tackle this project for yourself, then you can get the instructions at brickvault.toys. With each purchase comes a PDF guide to building and a digital parts list for ordering your pieces online. All of our models are hand tested for durability, instruction steps are troubleshot so the model's easy to build, and the parts for the creation are chosen for availability. If you buy instructions from us, you will be able to build this model in real life. It's also an excellent way to help support our channel and the talented designers that we work with, like Commander Keller, who has also put together the Resurgent class Star Destroyer. So click the link in the description below if you want to get started. And now let's jump back to the build. This MC-75 is named the Confidence by the designer. That's a creative liberty. The Profundity fought at Scarif in Rogue One, while other MC-75 names include Aspiration, Accordance, and Temperance, so you can see the basic good guy theme we got going on here. This is a big model. It is 89 centimeters long, nearly 3 feet. 46 centimeters high and 20 centimeters wide. That is a hefty footprint for any LEGO creation, but there is something a little more specifically special about the size of this MC-75. This creation scales exactly with 2 Impaired's Star Destroyer Eviscerator, plus all the other nanoscale creations we have in the web store. I've talked about setting up fleet battles or simply trying to even out the odds between sides because the Empire has been pretty dominant so far. And now, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think the Rebels, with their flagship, officially have the upper hand, at least in nanoscale. You can let me know which side, at least in this configuration, would win, but I'm putting my Mon on the Calamari. Okay, I'll go back to some fleet stuff at the end, but first I want to get that out of the way just right now. They all do scale together, but that isn't actually the highlight for me. It's great that that works out, but it's details, smartly complex construction, and interior that really brings this model home for me. Yes, this does have an interior. It's scaled for a few figs. That doesn't mean the model is minifig scale. This would need to be 28 meters long at minifig scale, but you can fit a few figs into control consoles. There is some storage, detailing for a door, a couple of ladders, a few other things, and taking the top pieces off is really easy and quick. Plus there's a little centerpiece for the interior that comes out too, so it's easy to get deeper into the model. Navigating the inside is pretty darn effortless, and it's great that Commander Keller managed to get a solid, sizable space inside a model like this with so many subtle curves on the outside. And there, I said the magic word, curves. This is one of the primary reasons you don't see too many folks tackling Mon Calamari ships in general. Their shapes are often very fluid, and the curves need to look just right in order for the ship to feel accurate. This is where I imagine the bulk of the design time for this model went. You've got plates and slopes, bricks, wedges, Technic panels, and more, all connected together with hidden hinges, mixels, and pins on the inside, all to make shapes that you just don't normally see in LEGO bricks. There are several axes to take into account when creating a shape as complex as the nose, for example. It doesn't feel like a complicated shape on the outside, but this designer really knew what they were doing, and it really shows. All the way down to using the angles of the long wedges at the bottom to create parallel lines for the hanger. That's a really clever touch. Also, the Mon Calamari have the lumps or bubble-like shapes on their ships, and I think these are captured pretty well here in the front. The back of the ship slowly gets more and more narrow as well, and you can see how that was achieved along the top with the panels covering the angled layer beneath. Even though the base of this model has advanced connections to create the shape, there is still tons of space to add the small, more refined details when you look closer. It's greebles and accents and tiny clever connections at the micro level that really work to sell the idea that this is supposed to be a spaceship over 1,200 meters long. I've got a lot of little favorite highlights for this creation, but I won't get specific here. I'll only point out that the last little thing is the CR90, the nanoscale one, can fit inside the front hanger like you see in Rogue One. It's a nice extra touch that really helps to integrate the models of all the same scale. And speaking of which, let's get all the scaling ships onto the table together. I'm sorry I can't do a classic face-off on this light table. There's just not quite enough space, but I assure you there is a proper display in the works to best dramatize a larger skirmish. It's really cool that we're able to play around with concepts like large-scale fleet battles in just bricks, and it's all due to dedicated builders who go to the next level to make these models look amazing. Really quick, in case you are curious, the handling of the model is pretty straightforward. The external detailing is actually quite robust, but the real way to handle this model is by picking up the creation just where the display stand connects to both points on the ship. The model has some weight to it, and it's certainly a large size, but outside of that, the actual handling and moving of this creation is pretty darn casual. This MC-75, I just think, has an excellent fluid shape, and I think I already know what the next big model request will be based on today's video, but please let us know what kinds of creations you want to see in the future. If you'd like to build the MC-75 Confidence, click that link in the description below or check us out at brickvault.toys. If you happen to enjoy what we do here on the channel and want to see more, feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you want to do. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.